Welcome to DOREEN'S African Experiences. Yes, it's been 2 weeks. 2 weeks, I think. 1 week and a half or so. I've taken a break, but starting from tomorrow, I'll resume shooting my content. Happy Easter to all of you. Yeah. I'd like to let you know that since I've been gone, I've taken enough rest. As you can see, I look well rested. I believe I look more healthy. I feel very good. I feel healthy. I feel amazing. Ignore my voice. My voice is very deep. I was not screaming. I was not doing anything. I just did a bit of too much work yesterday. And then I got fatigued and then I slept off. But I'm very well. I'm doing well. And everyone in my life is doing well. I just wanted to check in on you guys and see how you're doing. I know it's been a week and a half since I last posted. I take these breaks 3 times a year, 3 to 4 times a year. I take breaks between, creating content. Now, starting from tomorrow to be Monday, I'm going to be posting construction content, more and more content. I just wanted to take a break. And I'm glad I'm back. It's nice. It feels nice being back. So, besides that, I saw something. One of the things that actually prompted me to shoot today, because I was supposed to go live tomorrow. I've decided to go live today because I've been off social media and everything. I want to give you 5 affirmations, right? 6 months ago, my life went to shit. Like, everything was so bad. I remember a group of people. I remember there was a time I was making lives at night and I was telling you there was a group of girls trying to work against me and getting me fired from my second job. I don't know, for those of you that have been watching me for a long time, you know this to be true because usually when things happen in my life, I talk about them. And these girls, actually, there were 3 girls. One of them was their leader. And I didn't do anything particular to these girls. It's just, I didn't know it was a thing that if a group of people wanted you to be their friends and you rejected them and then you had something they wanted, they start hating you for not being able to be part of you. I didn't realize there was such an impact that people would go to great lengths to try destroy me. Because I've failed to be friends or be close to them. I guess some of these things are simply God-given, not to brag, but some people command a lot of respect, naturally. Let me tell you the thing. The type of person I am, the type of things I do, I command respect naturally. I don't even intimidate anyone into submitting to respect me or to do things that I would want. People don't easily double cross me, and that is something that is God-given. So to cut the long story short, when I was fired from my second job, which was a night job, I remained with my day job. As you well know, my day job had issues previously. They don't pay on time, they take months on end without paying. That's why I took the second job, because the second job was paying on time. So I knew that would bridge the gap, my financial gap at the time, and it worked. So these girls, there is things they did. They would accuse you of stuff. They would report you consistently. They would bring you up, and one of them was my immediate supervisor. The other 2 were just fellow colleagues. So imagine if your immediate supervisor is constantly reporting you for some bullshit. Obviously you're going to be on the radar of your top bosses, and eventually they're going to do something about it. So they were successful and I got fired. But this is the thing that you don't understand. In life, when you are blessed, I tell you, I kid you not, everything always works in your favor. Even if it doesn't look like it at the time. But trust and know that when you are blessed and favored in life, you know, especially by higher powers, believe me, everything is always going to work in your favor. When these guys got me fired, I got way many construction gigs. Everything just started playing out, you know. And then my job was, well, I got other things attached to my job that were paying me a little bit more money. Actually, I was tutoring physics at the time and I was being paid a lot more. All I'm saying is everything just started working out. Actually, I was less stressed. I only became stressed in February this year, obviously because I wasn't being paid on time. But before that, at around the time I got fired, everything just started even getting better for me. You know, something I didn't see coming. You have to have faith and trust in yourself. Whatever you are doing, keep doing it. As long as you're not hurting anybody, everything will always work out, right? When I got fired, these girls literally threw a party to celebrate that their hard work had been a success. Can you imagine? I'm going to tell you something about me. I'm not even bragging right now, but I'm going to tell you that nobody that has ever double-crossed me has gone or gotten away with it. And I didn't even lift a single finger to do anything to make sure they paid. I can be there minding my own business and then I hear, oh, do you know what happened to so-and-so? I'm like, no. Oh shit, this and this and this and this and this happened. So let me give you the gist before I go on to tell you more crazy stuff, right? In my period of resting, I was there. One of the girls, now the two girls fell out badly. When they fell out, there was a lot of chaos. I wasn't there, but I was told. One of them literally called me and confessed everything they did. I didn't even know they threw a party the day I got fired. Women are evil. So, and she's telling me we threw a party, you know, but now this girl, so now that they've turned on her, she's remembering I am the only person that stood to help her with her current predicament. And she's telling me, after confessing all this nonsense, people are shameless. She asks me if I know anybody that could give her a job. I was lost for words, right? I was like, I'll get back to you. I didn't have the number she used to call me. I just told her I'll get back to you, right? And then I just blocked her number because I didn't know how to react. I didn't want to go toe to toe with her to tell her, are you crazy? You did everything to make me lose a job. And now that you're at the brim of losing your own job, you want me to help you get a job. Me who you got fired. Do you understand how crazy people are? People are crazy. I'm telling you, this world, people are shameless, people are crazy. People are going to come into your life because you are a reason for them to get somewhere. That you can do something they can't do for themselves. They just want to use you. When I got fired, she didn't even give me a single phone call to like, oh my God, so sorry you got fired. How are you? Like, not even checking on you, nothing. Months later, she calls me confessing what her and her friends did to me. I had my suspicions, but I could not pin them down. And then when she confessed what they actually did behind my back and why they did it, my God. In the same phone call, she asks me to help her get a job because she knows for sure she's going to be fired at the same job she got me fired from. Can you imagine? Do you understand how crazy people are? I block her, and in my head, I'm like, I'm taking leave, man. I'm in my own era. I'm just peaceful right now. I don't need any drama. I don't need to be. You have to understand me. I block relatives, I block friends, I block family at any inconvenience. The moment you stress me, the moment you take any energy out of me that I don't want to lose, I block you. I don't care who you are. I reached a certain maturity level in my life. I was younger when I started doing this. I learned a long time ago that people are shameless. People will drain you and take from you. They don't even just have to take money. People will take your time. People will take your energy. Have you ever been around a certain group of people that drain you? People that drain you and you feel so drained, you feel like you can't even exist anymore around them. Block them. You don't have to pretend. It's not good. Now, get this. I block her. After blocking her, right? 4 days later, one of our previous colleagues reaches out to me and tells me, yo, you know what? Now, the leader of the group got fired from their job. The girl who was stimulating everything, the girl who motivated them to go ahead and do everything they did, got fired from the damn job. Now, understand this. According to her friends, previous conversation, she called and told me whatever the hell she told me. According to her friend, this girl had just taken out a loan, a car on loan, and her defense or how she would pay was the job she just got fired from. She had double-crossed every single person that had once helped her. She fell out with her own family. She fell out with everyone. She even used a fake account to publicly shame one of her exes. An ex of hers who bought her every single thing she was having or she had in her little house. She went ahead. You don't understand, there are some people in this world who are crazy, who are not just crazy, but they're evil to a point that there is no line. They no longer have a line. Now she's been fired. Unlike her, when I got fired, I had a day job. I have my YouTube. I'm an entrepreneur by nature. I know how to go about life. Believe me. None of you don't know how far I've come. You don't know how much work I've put into myself. I know. And one day maybe I'll share. And then they tell me, and in my head I'm like, see God, always my biggest lesson from this girl's experiences is two. One, avoid at all costs to double cross people or hurt people or backstab people, because the same way you've double crossed and backstabbed people, one day it will happen to you. And when it does happen to you, the situation might be worse. None of the things she fought me for, she ever got. Nothing. Imagine that. Life. This is life. Life, the circle of life. That's what I call it. The circle of life. Today it's me, tomorrow it's you or somebody else. But no, it will be you eventually. Hi, Rose. Happy Easter. Happy Easter. Now, I'm done with that first conversation. The second conversation is about what Russia did, right? I'm all right, Rose. I'm great. How are you? Russia has felt the need to tell us that Jesus was black. Maybe this is going to come as a shock to many of you, but for some of you that have been doing a lot of theology, doing a lot of research, you already knew this. This is not news for us. We already knew. Though, obviously, when someone comes out to stamp and confirm and present evidence, maybe that makes other people that were still in doubt, understand or believe. But as you well know, something that has been indoctrinated among people, it takes more than a conference. What is it called? A broad conference to wipe out of people's heads. It takes more than that. And I need to understand, how did Russia get to have these things? What else do they have? Celis, what does the American government have of Black people? You have to understand, all these European countries have something that belongs to Black people. All of them. And they are secretly caging these things in. What else do they have? And why is now the right time for them to admit to some of these things? Most of you are not asking the right questions, because the concept of Jesus being Black, and Jesus is not purely Black, but Black. We understand. We do understand. We already knew, but why now? Why now? This is the thing. Every Western country, when they are at war, they have a way of involving Black people into their wars. You have to understand that Africa is the future. Right now, there is something going on that is called Scramble for Africa. Every person that has big money right now and knows what the future is actually going to be is trying to find space in Africa, is trying to embed themselves in Africa, because the Western world has already been destroyed. Even if they keep advertising this and this and that, they've destroyed it. They've destroyed it. They've destroyed everything. They have nothing they stand for. They have no single culture out there. Nothing. There are no roots anywhere. They have nothing. I'm serious. And it keeps getting worse. Yet, over 70% of Africa is still intact. Culture, faith, belief, environment-wise, health-wise, it's still intact. So these people here trying to involve us in their wars, we need to tell our fellow African people that there is nothing out there, and it's the truth. If our continent is so bad, why do they come here and never want to leave? The only thing that's making most of them leave is the weather, because it's not suitable for them. Most of it isn't, Some of it is good most of the time, but you have to understand, for them, they cannot survive here for very long. Most of them can't. Most pure white people cannot survive in Africa for very long. They come here, it's like summer. That's why you all have those weathers that are changing, If you only had one weather, which is summer, you wouldn't survive there anyway. They wouldn't still. There is a reason why countries that have prolonged winters or prolonged this and that are less populated and have been abandoned. Anyway, I'm done with that topic. I'm not taking the bet from Russia, and I'm not even taking a single apology from any Americans or Canadians, whatever they call themselves. The Western world, I don't take any apology, because a lot of damage was done and they continue to do more damage behind the curtains. A lot of this Black crime you see in politics that's being done to Black people, it's not, the Black people are not pulling the strings. It's the Western world pulling the strings, heavily, and they continue to pull the strings. So believe me, I don't take a single apology from them, because without Africa, they cannot survive. They cannot. Nonetheless, I really don't care what they have to say. We know our truth. For us, we know the truth. We were raised with the truth. We are aware of the truth. We know. We know. And if you don't know, then obviously the Western culture has an effect on you, and it's deep. Find yourself, you know. I saw a whole, you know, and Africa is going to shit in certain aspects, you know. I saw a full pastor of Uganda last week carrying a fair-skinned baby and saying everyone should be giving birth to a baby that looks like this. Wow. What's this pastor's name? What's his name? That one of Nansana. That man shocked me beyond words. He didn't just shock me. I felt so mortified. So what's wrong with producing a black baby? That black baby is not a baby, you know? And he went ahead to make very ugly comments about black babies. And this is a man that is followed and has people that believe in him. Wow. Wow. And it was within that same week later that they said that Jesus was black. So now I wonder what he's telling his followers. See the world we live in. So let's go to another topic. So, being that I've been off social media, I might be very late about this discussion, but we have to talk about it. A woman, a fucking grown-ass woman, left a 16-month-old baby alone, trapped in a baby crate, to go on a vacation and be in a bikini somewhere. And this baby ended up eating her own feces. The baby didn't stop there. The baby starved and died. Wow. Mother of the year. What is actually happening to people? I mean, first forget this whole color and thing. Black, white, anything. Forget that. As a human race, what is actually happening to people? You know? I've seen people do some crazy things, man. I'm going to tell you certain things right now, and these certain things might not make you happy, but they're the truth. Hold on a minute. As you have, this is not the 1800s. This is 2024. You have the following options as a woman, right? If you don't want to have a child, you have the following options. Number one, you have family planning. Different types of family planning, right? And these days, I work in a government hospital. We give out these things for free. Free of charge. You just have to walk there, come there, and be given family planning methods for free. If you don't want to have family planning, wear condoms. We give them out for free as well. Wrap it up. Get the guy to wrap it. If you don't want a child, if you still cannot wrap it up, abstain. Nobody is giving you any kind of reward for sleeping around, unless you are under prostitution, you know. If that's your job, but still I don't understand why you're going to have a job of prostitution and you're going to give birth for every client you get. Still, fall back to family planning. The medical world has advanced so much to a point that if you happen, and I'm not advocating for this, but it's also an option that is there. If you happen to refuse to go on family planning, you've refused to wrap it up, you've refused to abstain, you can still abort a pregnancy that is not above 3 months. And there are hospitals that do it. I will not mention names. Our hospital doesn't do it because we don't believe in that. But I'm going to tell you, if you look around any country, there are hospitals that safely do it. There are medications on the market that do it. I've never done it. I don't plan on doing it. Why in the world are you carrying a child 1 month, 2 months, 3 months? Meanwhile, the first trimester, which is the first 3 months of a pregnancy, are the most brutal times for a pregnancy. Any pregnancy, you are sick, you throw up. I've been in a first trimester before, though I miscarried, but I've been pregnant before, so I know what happened to me. You go through all that pain. You move on to the second trimester where you are swelling. Every part of your body is swelling. You are craving heavily this. Then you move on to your third trimester. It's from what? 7 months to 9 months. Where you can barely sleep, you have no sleeping positions whatsoever. Let me tell you, when you get pregnant as a woman, by the first trimester, by the first day you know you're pregnant, you know what type of man you have. I've been there. You know, for starters, I'm 1 month, okay, usually most of you find out when you're clocking 2 months, but I'm 2 months pregnant. I've told my man doesn't want it. My man is not happy that I'm pregnant. My man has completely rejected the pregnancy. These men are not rejecting these children after birth. They're rejecting them from the go. If you feel you are not in position to continue and take care of that baby alone, eliminate it. Eliminate it before the 3rd month ends. And remember, I'm not advocating for this, but I'm telling you, I'm going to drive my point home. Just keep listening. The first trimester. You know, me, I knew from the first day when I was pregnant that my man did not want the child. Because of the way he treated me, because of the things he did to me. You know, no matter how much he pretended in between, I knew. So I put measures in place. I started a business for making bricks. If you watch my older videos, you see me making bricks. When I was making those bricks, I was pregnant. But you could not tell because I was just in my first trimester. I started making calculations because I really wanted to keep the babies. That was my first pregnancy. You know, I would go make bricks. I started making plans. I started doing this and that, this and this and that. You understand? Because I knew for sure I'm on my own. So I went through every other emotion, knowing that it is between me and my God. You understand? And unluckily, I miscarried when I was leaving the 2nd month. Right? You understand? My babies were coming to make 3 months because they were twins. But you have a man. You know this man cannot take care of you. He has refused to even try and does not want a pregnancy. You go ahead against all odds, get pregnant, right? Because most of you women have this tendency of thinking, if I get pregnant, he will love me. He won't love you. If someone doesn't love you before you're pregnant, nigga, during pregnancy, you're going to be less good looking for starters. You understand? If someone didn't love you when you were very good looking before pregnancy, fucked you up, what makes you think he's going to change? What gives you that idea? There is no definition, reason enough for you to give birth to a child and then abandon a child without food, water, or anything, trapped in a fucking crate to go on a vacation for 2 good weeks. Okay, 10 days, close to 11 days. Nigga, why would you do that? I don't care if you're depressed. I don't care if you're going through every other emotion. You have no right. You have all the options in this generation. I'm serious. You do. After the 3 months, the doctors will even tell you if your child has fully formed. After the first 3 months, if your child doesn't have one finger, the child will be born without it. Because in the first trimester, that's when the baby formation happens. After that, the baby is simply growing, but the baby has formed after the first 3 months. And even then, you can still do your fucking abortions if you don't want to give birth to a baby who has incompleteness. Why the hell would you produce a child and then mistreat that child? What is wrong with people? What is wrong? Who is telling you that if you don't give birth, the world is going to end? Who? Who is telling you this? Who is telling you that without you, if you leave this world without ever giving birth to any offspring, we shall all perish? We need you to give birth. Nobody needs you to give birth. I'm 29. I've never given birth, right? The world didn't stop. The world hasn't stopped. The world is moving on. Do you understand? It is not a must. It is not a must. If you don't have the mental capabilities to raise somebody, don't bring them to this world. Nobody is putting you on gunpoint. Nobody. As women, understand this, know this, and know peace. If you are giving birth, that child is yours alone. If the man happens to be a responsible father and he steps in, good for you. But there are more single mothers than single fathers. Do you know why? Because the child is a woman's #1 responsibility. Nigga, that man didn't carry that child for 9 months. That man didn't have no morning sickness. That man is not going anywhere pushing or being cut open for anything. Your life is at risk during that period of time. You risk your own life to bring something into this world only to abandon it in a crate to starve to death. Nigga, she was not even in a hospital somewhere. She didn't even lose nobody. She was not on a bar. She was on the beach in a bikini, shaking her damn ass, eating this and that, drinking, partying her life away. Wow. Sometimes you lose words. You lose words. Sometimes you lose words. There are people out there who want children, who have tried conceiving and failed. They've tried everything. These people are always willing to adopt those children. She had the audacity to stand in court and say, God and my baby, forgive me. Wow. If I ever find somebody like that in heaven, I will know I'm in hell. I will know I'm in hell. If there is a God that can forgive somebody like that, that is not God. I'm sorry. I know you all preach forgiveness and this, but I don't fucking believe in that. And I hope she got life in prison, but I hope the cellmates or the prisonmates know this and do her justice. You don't deserve to live. Nigga, this child was 16 months. Do you know how fragile babies are? It's like having an animal and you mistreat it. An animal that cannot speak for itself, that cannot even do anything. Why? Who is forcing you to have these things? Who? Who told you that if you don't give birth, the world is going to end? Who? Every single person should be arrested. The neighbors should be arrested. How do you hear a baby cry for 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, and you don't do anything? How evil can you be? I live in my apartment where I live. We only have 2 babies in the entire area. One time I was recording a video just there, and then I heard a baby cry. And the baby cried for a good 6 minutes. I said, what the hell is going on? I paused. I went down to find out what's wrong with the baby. And the mother was like, oh no, this one, he just wants to be added more food, but I've already given him too much food. And at this point, if I give him more food, he's going to eat and throw up. Because he has done it before. I simply want him to rest, and then later I'll add him more food. Do you understand? But you hear, do you know how loud babies can be? Do you know how loud they cry? I'm stuck with a memory of a fucking dead child. The cry alone is scary. It's like, it's worse than a haunted movie. And poor child, the last person she was crying for is her mom, the same person who left her to starve and die. Wow. I'm going to give you an example. I had a cat, my other cat, Kiki. I had Kiki all through COVID. When COVID came, there were so many lockdowns. So one time I was at a party, and then they said even cars are not allowed to move anymore. I was stuck. I was very far. I've told this story to someone before, 2 people. You don't understand. At the party where I was, there was a guy who threw the party. It was a house party, and he was trying to get with me. Right? I said, I'm not getting with you. You guys, I told this guy that I left my cat home. My cat only has enough food for 1 day. I need to go home and feed my cat. I moved over 10 miles to go home to my cat. There was no means of transportation, nothing. I moved. This guy hated me for the rest of his life, but I don't regret my decision for leaving him and walking. I reached home, my feet were hurting, my feet were swollen, but I walked over 10 fucking miles. I reached home, it was almost dark. I know for sure if I had reached when it was dark, they would have beaten me. I moved. For those who know Uganda, I moved from Muyenga to Lunguja because I was staying in Lunguja at the time. I moved from Muyenga to Lunguja just for a cat, because I knew the cat is in the house, because my cats are usually house cats. Who is going to feed my cat? Who? You know, when I reached home, his litter box was full. And you know, cats are very picky. When a cat where a cat pees or poops is dirty, the cat will not poo or pee there anymore. It will find another place to pee or poo. This cat had literally gone to my bed, peed and pooped and covered. And this is a cat I didn't give birth to. But this is a cat that I raised. But a human being left another human being trapped in a crate in a house to go and party. It is exactly what I did. But she didn't have the brain, you people, to call anybody, to call anyone to help this cat or to help the baby. Where do you get these huts? Where? Tell us so that we don't send people there. Tell us. How do you even face yourself? How is she going to face herself? Because she was crying with her crocodile tears. Nigga, you were not crying when that child was crying. You were not crying when that child was starving. Even the boyfriend should be arrested because I know he knew. He knew. No way he didn't know. You people are bad. People are bad, and these are people you move with every day. I've had worse stories. I've had stories of people who murder people. They look so grim and confident, and they murder people so easily, like it's nothing. Be careful. Be careful. Always pray for the people you spend your time with, the people you bring into your lives. Pray. Pray for yourself, because guys, as a man, as a woman, you could meet somebody like that, and this is your partner, this is someone you love, and this is what they're capable of. The world is going to shit. I lost words. I really lost words, because wow, why would she do something like that? I don't care if she's depressed. I don't care if she's sad. There is no justification for what she did. She had every single alternative. And she didn't take any, but decided to bring a child into this world just to kill it. I hope that child, I think she's Jaylene or something. I hope her soul rests in peace. I hope maybe in her next life she finds a loving family, a family that won't starve her. You guys, you don't understand. 16 months. 16 months. That's 1 year and what? 3 months or so? 1 year, 3, 4 months. Someone who is 1 year and 3, 4 months, her brain has not grasped a lot of things. I know for sure that child could not even speak a lot of things. She couldn't make out a lot of things. Stop. And it's not just her. There are parents who give birth to children and banter them, and they beat them to pulp. You know, I also grew up with an abusive father, you know, very abusive. I never want to discuss that man, but some of us have survived and lived by God's grace. We've lived because maybe God just had more mercy on us. But parents, stop abusing your children. These children are so fragile. They can't defend themselves. They can't do anything to you. Why would you get angry to that extent, to a point that you feel the easiest solution is to banter your child beyond? There are better ways to discipline a child, you know? There are better ways. Stop giving birth. It's not a must. Stop giving birth if you cannot handle raising a child. Children are annoying. Children are stressful. Children are insufferable sometimes. But children are a choice. They are a choice. Some of you are here, you complaining when you see those, there are some women have seen posts, men never want to have kids, I don't want to have kids. And people in the comments below, people are very angry. Why wouldn't you want to give birth? What if your parents didn't give birth to you? Some of these people, you don't know their history. You don't know what their parents did to them. You don't know why they don't want to have kids. I support somebody who does not bring a child into this world if they don't want. If they know they are not ready, if they know they can't handle raising a child. I support them. Actually, I am one of those people that I've never ever felt the need to ask somebody why haven't they given birth yet. Never. Never. But I've always felt the need to ask a parent, why are you beating that child? Yes, and some of you say, you're not a parent, you don't understand. I understand clearly. I am very, very much aware. And I know how a child should be treated. Some of you are cruel human beings, and I don't care how much you fast, how much you pray, you are not going to heaven. I don't know if that's your aim, if that's your end goal. You're not going. You're not. You're pure evil. And some of you, you've just not been found yet. But the things you've done to your children, you can never take back. Some of you are predators. There was a story recently of a child who was molested by her father. Do you know how old this child was? Do you know how long this man molested the girl? If you don't have any integrity in you, leave children alone. Stop giving birth. Let us be wiped out and completely off the face of the earth if that's what it takes. What is the point of you bringing children into this world only for you to torture and traumatize? We are dealing with traumatized human beings. People who have been traumatized from childhood. Childhood traumas never heal. Don't be lied to. They never heal. Some of these people are very bad human beings as adults, not because they are, but because that's what they were made to be from childhood. They had no choice. They had no choice. Some people are not strong enough. They're not. And when someone is not strong enough, what happens to them? They give in. They give in to all types of evil. May God forgive you. But for some of the crimes some of you have committed, may God never forgive you. May you kept awake, haunted by your actions. May you never ever heal. May you die screaming for certain things you've done, especially to children. May you never know peace. Because why would you harm a child to that extent? A child 16 months old left alone in a crate. What are those things called? White people call them play and trap, something like that. Trapped for 10 days with the pamper you left her with nothing like a bottle, nothing. The child starved to a point of eating her own feces to survive. There are no words, my friends, but this is the world we are living in. This is the world. Just like that, and I don't understand, there was a girl who gave birth to a child, I don't know, I think she's also from the US, in a bathroom, in a hospital bath. Imagine, she was in a hospital, entered a bathroom, gave birth to a child, and suffocated the child into what are those black bags for trash called? No. Amos, no. 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 God should not forgive people like that. They should live with their crimes in their heads. They should never forget what they've done. Do you understand how innocent a child is? 16 months. Have you seen a 16 months child? I see them at the hospital all the time. They are clueless. Clueless. I don't care if the child is 2 years, 3 years, or 4 years. I pray they never heal. I pray they are haunted even when they sleep. They're haunted and wake up screaming from the things they've done to children. Let me tell you, I will forgive a lot of crimes, but I'll never forgive a crime done to a child. By the way, I'm a very peaceful person. People have done things to me, and often people ask, how do you forget? How do you forgive? Why do you take things so easily? If you want to understand that I don't take things so easily, try it on a child. There are people who have done crimes almost that are unforgivable. A man molesting, raping a child who is 1 year, 2 years, 3 to 5 to 10 to even 15, 14, that's a child. A grown ass man. We're talking someone who is double, thrice their age. Forget these crimes of agements. They're still crimes, but at least they're not as gruesome. You guys, someone who is 15 years old, someone who is 40, 50 years old, 30 years old, molesting a 2-year-old child. How the fuck do you forgive that? How in the world? I saw the judge reading her sentence and the man nearly cried. The man was crying. You can't help it. You can't. Almost there are crimes that cannot be forgiven. I don't care which God you pray to. They cannot be forgiven. I don't even want to believe they should forgive somebody like her. We've all done bad things. Trust me, we all have. None of us is an angel. But there are crimes that are reconcilable. You can come from them, you know. But that is murder, man. She murdered a 16-month-old baby. Intentionally. She had 10 days to rethink her decision. On the first day, she didn't even call a single soul. Yo, I forgot my child in the house or something. Please go pick my child. Second day, she didn't call nobody. Third day, fourth day, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. How the fuck do you forgive that? The child didn't even die in the first 5 days or 6 days. The child died around the 8th day. 2 days before she had 7 days to change her mind, and she didn't. 7 days. 7 full days. You know, we had a grandmother who was not, I don't want to say the word, but she was not a people person. I will say it. There were days you'd do something. Hold on, I need to understand what's wrong with Amos. I can see the hurt you are powering. God doesn't have a dustbin where he put wasted living person. God's love. Amos, go ahead on your page and defend people who commit such atrocities. Go to her. You can as well write to her. Right now she's in jail. Which prison is it? She abandoned a 16-month-old baby, and the child starved, ate her own feces at some point to survive while she was on a beach partying with her boyfriend, having sex, having alcohol, eating, while a 16-month-old baby she intentionally left in a crib was starving and eating her own feces. Please go to your own page and support such people, not on my page. Please go. I don't want to go back and forth with you. I've made my stand and I'll stand by it. Okay? My battery is very low. I don't have time for this. Some of you pretend to be so holy. I don't give a fuck which God you worship, but I know for sure if there is a God who can forgive somebody who did something like that, I don't want to be a part of that God. I don't want to be a part of that church. I don't want to be a part of that person unless she serves the same experience she gave to that 16-month-old child. I have no intentions of forgiving her. If she's also locked somewhere and starved with nothing, not even a toilet, because she left this child in one pamper. She didn't even leave a child with a bottle, nothing. Nothing. If there is a God that forgives that, yeah, I hope this God is putting her in the same punishment. And you know what? She didn't even deserve life in prison. She deserved the same exact fate she gave her daughter. That's the fate she deserves. She needs to be locked somewhere in a dark place. No food, no toilet, nothing. We see how long she can survive. We see. And then she also dies. The same death if you wish for someone to die a certain way, you should also be wished the same death. You should. We're in the spirit of Easter. One person made a statement in one of those congregations and stated, it is something that's in the Bible somewhere, that as you kill what you use to kill someone is what shall also be used to kill you. I believe in an eye for an eye. She needs the same death. That's it. Life in prison is too merciful. She's going to be there eating food, the food she never even gave the child. She's going to be there getting water. She's getting a toilet. She doesn't deserve any of that. No, she does not. She does not. I would gladly forgive any scammers, those guys, those thieves, what? I would not forgive someone who does something like this. There are things I don't forgive. Murder, first-degree murder, intentional murder, pre-planning. Meanwhile, this woman, there is video footage of her planning that she was leaving. She was planning her trip, but she didn't plan to leave her child anywhere. I'm not having this conversation. Let me go. My battery is running now. But it was nice seeing you guys. I enjoy your company. Let's get back to work on Monday tomorrow and continue shooting some content, yeah? But I hope what I said, you've picked something out. You don't have to like everything I say, but I know if I say 100 things, maybe 2-3 points make sense and they are useful. You can leave the 95 or 98 and take the 3. Have a nice weekend and happy Easter, you guys.